Welcome to the Tactical Journeyman. We're a Sunday League footballer who's not got any coaching badges and we need to find a club. We've found a club! We have been hired for St Albans as our first ever managerial job and the FM23 Tactical Journeyman with me, Raxor FM, where today we are starting this journey to try and go all the way from nothing, all the way from no coaching badges, Sunday League footballer with no experience to the best manager in the world. And if you guys are excited for that journey, please make sure that you do smash the like button on today's video, as well as subscribing to the Rax FM YouTube channel so you don't miss this series coming hopefully every single week. If not, it will be a little bit less or maybe more frequent than that, depending on how good I am at uploading. Can we please smash 50 likes on today's video? I know we're not going to get it within the first 24 hours, but eventually we want to hit that target. I believe in you, and I hope that you believe in me as we go along this journey. And you might be questioning, Rex, so why are you only going to be uploading once a week? Why is it called the Tactical Journeyman? And I will tell you that right now. So if we take a look at the St Albans side, I've got a tactic set up for them, and actually it's a reasonably decent side. I'm pretty happy with ending up being in an English side. I mean, it's kind of what I know the most, as the league I enjoy managing in the most. So I'm happy to have had this squad as my first job after getting an offer from a couple of Swedish sides. It wasn't quite my preference. I did end up going down to the Vanarama National League South, and we're here with St Albans. This is all the leagues that we had loaded if you want to have a look. So we were applying for every single job, and we've managed to come here, and I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest with you. But this is a team that we're going with, and it is a bit of a different formation, a bit of a different tactic to what I normally go with if you're a long-term viewer. And that's because the reason why this is called the Tactical Manager is because I am the least tactical person you've ever met in Football Manager. I am terrible at tactics, and I will stick my hand up and admit that to be 100% true. But I want to get better at it. Normally I just go here, press gegenpress, go 4-3-3 of some variation, and we win games all the time. This series, I am not allowed to do anything that resembles a gegenpress. Yes, I can, press the defense. Yes, I can move the ball quickly. But, I cannot come close to what a gegenpress is looking like. So this is a tactic that I have adjusted from wing play, and I'm hoping it will work. I don't have any reason to believe it will work, but I'm hoping it will work. So we've got two strikers up top. We've got Jeffers as our main key player. Looks like the best player in our team. And we've got a man next to him, Neil, who seems like he's an okay player as well. We've got a makeshift Cam at this current moment in time. Doesn't look like too bad of a shout. A right winger who can play central midfield, so we're playing him as the Mazzala, with an inverted wing back, because he's right-footed, who can move into that channel, and then the Mazzala hopefully can move out wide. Is the plan, I guess. Noble, who's 40 years of age, but the most experienced and one of the best players in our team, coming in as the deep line playmaker. Stanley on the right back position, but I've just realised he is absolutely knackered, so we might need to get this Italian man into that right back position. And then this is where we struggle. We have a central midfielder playing centre back, we have a central midfielder playing centre back, and we have a 2-star current ability centre back. So not quite what we need at this point in time. The goalkeeper is a decent player coming in from loan from Norwich, and we have a couple other players here and there, like Cooper, who is out injured right now, who isn't too bad either. The bench is pretty okay as well. But, of course, we're going to try and make some signings as quick as we can. But you're not going to see all of that. I'll tell you what you're going to see today is you're going to see me play our first ever game in this league, in this series. And it is the hardest game possible. We've just lost so many games in a row, and we're versing the top of the table team away from home. So it is the worst possible start possible. But I'm hoping we end up with the best possible start possible by winning the game. And that's all you're going to see in today's episode in terms of, starting it off. Then I'm going to simulate to the very, very start of the January transfer window. And in that time, yes, I will be making some transfers because this is the National League South where you can make transfers whenever you want. So we'll be definitely trying to sign some players. But that's how the series is going to work. I'm going to give you from the start of the season, tell you about the transfers that we made, simulate the end of December, and then end that episode there. Then I'm going to start the next episode going over the transfers I've made in the January transfer window and simulate to the end of the season. So you're just going to get 2 episodes per season with maybe just 1 or 2 games per episode. So they might be longer episodes, they might be longer videos than normal, but I'm trying something different. 2 episodes per season. So you still get to see a lot of what's going on, still understand what's happening, but it's just the way I'm going to do it for this series. It's slightly different. It's fresh, it's new. Let's give it a crack, boys and girls. Smash the like button if you're enjoying it so far, and subscribe if you think you're interested in that series. And yeah, that's basically all the rules for this series. I want to try and not use the Gegenpress, give you 2 episodes a season, and we're trying to become the best manager possible. They've already rejected my request to get a National C license because they didn't think they thought that I might leave because I'd be too good for them. So it's good to know that I'm of a high standard. But I've waffled for enough. You guys understand what the series is about. It's a journeyman, and we're going to jump into our first game ever. As I said, normally I would just slap on the Gegenpress, but this is something different altogether. And I'm realizing very quickly that this Stanley man is very tired, and I'm actually going to have to bring someone else into that position. Can anyone else play in that position? I mean, it sounds like no. Can anyone play left back? No. Okay. Let's just give this youngster a crack in there. I know it's not perfect. It's definitely not where he wants to play. Oh, maybe Sol, or maybe the central midfielder. See, these are the kinds of things I would have preferred to have done off camera to make the video slightly quicker for you boys and girls. No. Okay. I am just going to play... No, I am going to chuck Sol in there. I know that's probably a worse idea because he's, a right mid, but we're giving it a crack. We'll give him a crack as a right wing back. You can't tell me I'm not being experimental in this series. And we're giving a man a debut. Lovely to see. You can get number 40 because apparently you suck. Let's jump into it. The first ever game of this series, and I'm hoping for a win. It is a new tactic. It's a new team. It's a new game save. I mean, yeah, like nobody's expecting much of us, so let's just go out there and hope for the best realistically. This team that we're versing, as we've said, top of the table, don't recognise a single player though. So I don't really understand the level of this competition. This is the first time I've really managed this low. I have I've maybe started saves before YouTube down in these divisions, but I've never really had a consistent one that I've given a crack. So it's a new experience for me, and I'm hoping when we come to the halfway point at the end of this episode, in December at the end of this episode, we've found a tactic that works, and we've found something that seems to be working. But early on, it's an even affair. The first highlight is coming their way, but they haven't slapped us already. It's a good shot, it's a good save. It's 1 shot to their 5, 37% possession. Seems pretty poor, but we're on the ball here, and actually we could be in with a chance. It's more the inverted wing back losing the ball. It's not a good sign, I have to admit, but we do win it back with our 2-star centre back, Mukena. And Mukena clears it long, doesn't collect it again, but we have plenty of no nonsense, sort of ball playing, good centre back options, even if they're not completely suited to being centre backs. A great chance there. Our first goal for the series could have come from Wiltshire, but does just hit it over the bar, not quite on target. But I do feel like those 3 centre-backs will work in this game. We'll hold it out for some time and be able to give us some defensive solidity, and hopefully the attacking trio can give us some sort of attacking options when we get the ball to them. But so far, this tactic doesn't look like it's going too terribly. I'm content with this. I might give it another crack, even if we lose this game. It feels okay to me. I feel like you boys and girls are surprised. I'm more surprised. I'm very much more surprised than you that it's going okay. Because it is going okay. We're on the ball, actually. We're attacking. It's Wiltshire. Into Moore. He's in on goal, in fact. He goes for the shot. It kills just wide of the post. That would have been a great way to start this series. And we've got a higher XG than the best team in the league, boys and girls. We are a good football team. Here is Sol, the right wing that's playing right wing back. Neil, I think he's offside. He is offside. He is offside. There's no VAR in this division, obviously. I didn't see an offside flag being raised early doors there. I need to check my eyes because clearly there is one. But I knew he was offside. But it's showing a sign of things to come. And oh my goodness, I'm thrilled with the performance so far, boys and girls. This is a great performance by this team, all the way down in 21st position right now, moving down to 22nd, but we're versing the top spot team, and we're giving them a real match. And I think a substitute, how many subs do I have? 3 subs. Okay, a substitute does have to be made. I don't want to bring Sol off because I kind of back him. He's playing well, even in that position. Let's bring... I don't want to bring Noble off. Sorry, are you telling me Sol could play left? No, okay, didn't think so. Let's bring... where can he play? He can play Cam, kind of. So let's bring our Cam off. Bring Stanley on. And I feel like that's kind of all the changes I need to make. We've got a striker that's pretty terrible. We've got a central midfielder that's okay. And the right back that's pretty terrible. Maybe Noble off and Dawson on. Can Dawson play as a deep line playmaker? It looks like he can. Yeah, no, he can. He can. 5 tackling. I mean, he's not really going to be stopping many players, but hopefully that defensive 3 at the back can do the job for us. And currently, with their ratings, you can see that they're clearly doing a decent job. 17 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go in this one, and I would absolutely take a 0-0 draw. I'm putting that out there very early doors. We will take a 0-0 draw here, because that is not a loss, and we've been losing a lot of football matches recently. But a last-minute winner would not be disappointing at all. A last-minute loser would be very disappointing. So let's hope that doesn't happen here. As they go for the right wing, they try and find a pass, and they do. Into the midfield, this is a good football side. You can tell the way they pass the ball. It's not half bad. They get it into the right area, but we clear it out, and that's what happens when you have 3 absolute rocks who only just started playing centre-back in defence, and they make sure that no one gets past them. So we're doing well. I'm very impressed with the way that these players have sort of suited to their roles that I've given them. I've really looked at them. I spent like 20 minutes last night trying to get this tactic correct. I think I just might have. We will make the last substitute. Jeffers is going to come off, and we'll bring on Morrill, who is a poacher, so we'll play him in the poacher role. Jeffers not doing a whole lot. I'm thinking maybe the poacher role might not be his preferred one. We'll see how it goes as the season progresses, though. And the last... I don't need a last highlight. I just need the full-time whistle. I would have been very happy with a 0-0 draw to start the series based off the statistics. It looks like it is a 0-0 draw. It is a 0-0 draw. We will take that. And I know, to start the series off, that is not exciting. That is not, oh my gosh, we've done an incredible job with this new tactic. But we have done an incredible job with this new tactic. That is about as good of a result you can ask for. A clean sheet, some serious opportunities, and an offside goal to show that we, can score goals against the top side when we're 21st position. I will absolutely take that. And I'm hoping that off camera we can make a bunch of transfers. That's what I'll talk about first, of course, when we jump to the end of December. And then I will tell you about the results, where we are in the league, and of course, the tactic that we've used. Right now, don't think I have a problem with this one. We'll give it a crack for a wee bit longer. But hey, who knows what will happen as the season progresses. It's a journey for me. It's a journey for you. It's a tactical journeyman for the both of us. I've just come up with that on the fly. That was brilliant. It's now the 1st of January, and we're sitting in 20th place, which seems a bit average considering the fact that we were, I think, 21st or 22nd when we started the role. Might have even been 20th. So we're still riding around the same place that we were when we took over. But this does not tell the whole story of what we have done since we took over as St Albans manager. Since last time we saw each other, we went on a huge streak of some great results. 2 draws in a row, then 4 wins in a row, coming back with 2 losses. 2 wins again though, but we're falling off again with a 5-0 slapping against a team we are now going to verse on camera together once again. So it's been a mixed bag, but I think a lot more good than bad. If you look at the form that the team had before I joined, we're playing much better football now. And the tactic seems to be working quite well. But I do want to take a look at this team that I started with. Because I have a feeling there's a number of these players that are either not in the club at all or really not in the first team conversation anymore. So let's go over the transfers that I've made since last time we saw each other. Starting with the sales. The first player I got rid of was, I think, Clark could have been my doing, and so he's gone. Johnson was a reserve goalkeeper, didn't need him, so got rid of him because we brought in a new goalkeeper. Mukina, who definitely started that first game, gone now because we brought in a bunch of centre-backs and we don't need him anymore. Morrill was a young striker that we don't need anymore. And Wiltshire was actually a player that I thought was going to be pretty crucial for us, but performed pretty averagely, and we got better players in his position, so we have gotten rid of him. So in terms of the signings, we've made quite a number, and a couple of them have come out of a left field for me as well. The first of which was this man here, Manny Edebowale. I'm going to call him Manny for obvious reasons. Just don't want to mispronounce the name there, sorry. He's been a regular starter since he joined. He's very tall, so he keeps getting those corner goals. 6'5". Well, he's got one, but I'm sure he will get some more as the season progresses. Maybe not quite at the standard, but I think that hidden ability keeps him in the first team squad, and a 6.81 average rating is helping him out as well. Then we got the central attacking midfielder. He's a really talented player with a great rating already of 3.5 star current ability. 7 games, no goal contributions, but I do back him to get into the squad and do a decent job for us in the future. Junior Brown. Now, this is a bit of a story. So, we brought in Junior Brown because he looked better than he actually was. He is definitely a starting left back for us, but he did look better. However, back in the day, me and my brother used to play FIFA, and we had Junior Brown in our team for some reason. And he was just sort of like a cult hero of our club. We had like gold players all over the pitch, but we still played Junior Brown coming off the bench every now and then, like the 61 rated left back. And he was just sort of the cult hero of our club. So I kind of am keen to make Junior Brown a bit of a cult hero of the save. Once he retires, I might try and pick him up as a coaching player. But for now, he's a starting left back for us. Then we brought in Luca Murphy, another player that's on £0 per week, so he gets paid per appearance. I think I should change that because this man is a starting centre back for us with plenty of experience and, not a whole lot of experience, but plenty of potential and a decent amount of good stats at this current point in time. And then we brought in this youngster. Yeah, no, that was a bad transfer, but he's not getting paid anything, which is good. Then we brought in this man who again's not getting paid anything apart from appearance fees, and he's another centre-back option, not too bad, came in on a free. All of these guys are on a free. Another youngster coming in on a free. This time he is getting paid, but very low pennies, and he has a great potential in the future. And the last one, French, coming into the squad as our new goalkeeper. He probably should be our backup if we compare him with our other goalkeeper, Mr. Berry. He's not quite as good, but we own French, so he's been starting for me, and I think he's doing a decent job right now. 6'2", nothing too bad. So that means that this new team is looking like this with all of our players available. Cooper's been injured for the entire time, so don't really have the experience of playing him since we joined the club, but it is looking pretty well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. Is Clark not in there? Did I not talk about Clark? Did I skip over Clark? Oh, Clark and Duncan are down the bottom, actually. Sorry, I didn't scroll far enough. Duncan has joined the club too. £300 per week. Comes in on a free, obviously. He's got some good stats. And he's a box-to-box midfielder, attacking player. He's pretty good, can't complain. And another free player, this one for £250 per week. Another midfielder. We were lacking in there for some time. Now we've got some great options with a decent one in the form of Morgan Clark. So 2 players there coming in. And now we can go over what we've actually got for our starting lineup. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new players into the starting 11. And certainly the other ones definitely pushing for those first team spots. But this is kind of the team that we've been playing with mostly since last time we saw each other. Neil in there with 5 goals, doing pretty well. Jeffers is definitely our star player with 10 goals from 25 appearances. Not the highest average rating, but he's doing a job. And obviously no goals for this man yet, but I feel like he will get there eventually. He's got the best stats for that role comfortably. Clark Noble's a 40-year-old, but he just keeps keeping himself in the team. His stats are so good, and he performs pretty well. Like we play worse when he's not on the team. Stanley at right back is again another great player, but I should be starting Mr. Moore. Moore is the better of the 2 right backs. He's a real gem. I don't know how we've got him in this team. Really good player. Brown's okay at left back. Murphy, Paul's converted pretty well into a centre back, playing quite well. I just think he adds something to that centre-back role as the ball-playing defender. And yeah, that's the team that we have. That's the story for us. And as you can see, like our placement, I don't think really reflects how well we've been playing. I was even the runner-up for Manager of the Month in our first month as a St Albans manager. So hopefully we can back it up with a win here. And the tactic has been tweaked every now and then. It's still like a custom wing play. We've gone, I think, slightly. We went slightly less direct and then slightly more direct, and now in the standard bit, we're still distributing to the fullbacks, and we're pushing a wee bit more higher press. I actually might bring that back down to mid block because it's not seemed to be working for some time. But yeah, we were dominated in the last game, so I'm hoping the home fans will give us a bit more to help us out and get a decent result here. But obviously, this is a difficult team that we're versing. 10th place, I think they are, so they shouldn't be that hard, but we definitely owe them what happened last time. Let's see if we can find that option. We definitely owe them. Not an option. Revenge, there we go. Revenge is what we want to talk about, and we're going to do it with this team. If you are a St Albans fan, shout out to you in the comment section below. And if you are familiar with St Albans, I hope I'm not butchering it by getting rid of absolute legends of the club, because I have already sold quite a number of players. But we're doing okay in the league. We're not looking like we're going to get relegated. The board haven't let me re-request for a license coming there, but I'm pretty happy with how it's going, considering, you know, I've had to set up my own tactic and experiment a wee bit with us, and we don't really have the best players at our disposal and with all things considered, not the biggest budget ever. So we're bringing in gems here and there, gradually improving the side, and hopefully scoring a goal here, as Noble has done in the past this season. He's good from these free kick positions, and he kills us one off the woodwork. That would have been a great way to start this game after obviously losing terribly 5-0 in the last one. We are doing a much better job. It's still not a huge possession side. Normally our possession's much lower than the 47% that we have in this game. Normally somewhere around the 40% or even goes into the 30s sometimes. But it seems like it's definitely them being still more dominant. You'd have to say they have the experience of knowing they can beat us, and probably just the general better players, because, you know, they did beat us 5-0. But at home, we're doing a bit more here, and I'm hoping that we hold on at least until halftime to keep the scores level. I think he's offside there. No, he's not. I was banking on him being offside there, and he's not. This isn't a good representation of the good football we've been playing from time to time, but it is really back and forth at this point in time, at this level. Now, I'm thinking maybe moving to a 4-4-2 could be the way to go. Maybe this 5 at the back formation is a bit too technical for these players, and maybe I'm not quite utilising the players in the best way, but we're getting half-decent results, so I can't complain too much. And I do think we've definitely improved this side, but this wee blip in form is giving me a wee bit to think about, that's for sure. And of course, we can make transfers whenever we want. That is a poor mistake by Moore. After I'm talking about how he's probably the best player in our team on paper, he makes that mistake, and we're not going to watch the replay. We're going to move on and hope that we see something happen for us in this first half. But it's them on the attack again, putting the ball into the mixer, and it could end up being another big defeat if we don't sort it out quickly. It's us on the ball, though. We smash it forward, and we don't win it in those areas. See, we're not really pushing them enough. Maybe the counter-attacking formation is more the way I should be playing, as currently we sort of want to hold the ball a bit, but also just take the chance when we see it. And we are doing a pretty good job of that from time to time, but it's clearly not working perfectly. Here is Jeffers into our man. I told you he was going to score. It's Banzel McNulty. I'm definitely just going to call him Banzel to make it easier. Banzel scoring his first goal for the club by knocking one into the back of the net after a wee touchdown. And maybe I'm panicking a wee bit too much. Just because we're on camera, I want to show you guys a good result, a good win. We're scoring goals now, which is good. But still clearly being outplayed by this side. Running down the left-hand side, getting across into the mixer, and a great header just going wide of the post. And another free kick for them. Coming into the mixer, another header off the woodwork. And no, we're holding on for dear life to just be 1-0, one goal down in this game. You think something's got to give, and you know what? I think it's going to be a 4-4-2. I'm going to tell them I'm not happy with the performance out there. I'm going to try a 4-4-2 for the first time. I think we have the facilities
with what's on the pitch. So if we bring Brown down, Moore down, play Moore as a fullback on support, Brown as a fullback on support as well. Paul obviously can play in that midfield. We've got 2 strikers already. Not really suited to the wing midfield position, but I'll chuck you in there anyway. Clark can kind of do the job. Who's not playing well though? That's the question. I will just bring someone off. Clark isn't playing brilliantly. Pretty sure he can play as a right mid. Yes, he can. We'll get a winger there. I guess this would work better for the sort of adapted wing play that we are going for. Box to box, deep line playmaker. Yeah, I mean, why not? Are you left-footed, or you're right-footed only? Okay, well maybe we'll make you an inverted one, slightly higher, because I actually don't mind that. And yeah, now I think we can focus play down the wings. Give it a try. I'm not worried about hidden early crosses. Let's just give it a crack. See what happens. It's an experiment. It is an experiment when we are down though. I don't think we'd be finding a way back into that game with the tactic that we've been going with currently. So let's give it a crack, see how it goes in the second half. It's currently given them a free kick in a dangerous position, and their free kicks have been close, and this one comes off the woodwork into their player perfectly and means it is now 3-1. And I haven't really been paying attention to the stats, but see, this is the level of tactical mastermind I have, boys and girls. It's not a whole lot, but I'm doing my best here, and I hope that you're enjoying this first episode. Of course, we'll be coming back in the next one at the end of the season, so you'll be able to see exactly how well we've done. I have a feeling we might have to spend a couple of seasons here at St Albans before we get our move to a bigger club, because, yeah, no, things aren't exactly working out perfectly as things stand. I don't see our reputation going up a whole lot by just keeping us out of the relegation zone. We need to be pushing for something seriously decent, like a playoff place, to even be in with a shout at getting a new job, I reckon. But for now, it's going okay. It's going okay. It's slowly progressing. This game is not slowly progressing in our favour, though, and the 4-4-2 has not seemed to do anything to support the game plan at all. But Young's on the ball here. We're trying to push it off him, but they just play much better football than us. Look at that. They're just, like, even that clearance, it's pretty bad, actually, so I'll take that, Football Manager. Thank you very much for giving them a terrible opportunity, just as I'm saying how good they are. But they are clearly passing it a lot better than us, and we just don't have that sort of tactical know-how at this point in time with a manager without a license at all. But we are through here, actually. Jeffers is meant to be a great finisher, and he does that often, like really often. He's meant to be this world-class finisher. Well, not world-class, but, like, very good finisher for this level. He just seems to dawdle, go take another touch, or do something a bit average every time he's in that sort of position. I think the pressing forward role is the role for him, but he just doesn't finish his dinner as much as I would want him to for the ability that he's meant to have. Let's bring Sundry on, who has been our sort of centre-back midfield option, because you only have a couple of substitute options. And the last one I'm going to have to bring on is Duncan, and bring Neil off because he's playing so bad. Duncan can't even play on the wing, sorry. Stanley Moore can play. No, he can't play wing. Paul, can you play wing? Oh, no, he can't. Okay. Well, maybe that's a sign for me to go to a diamond for the last couple of minutes. Maybe not playing down the wing anymore. And playing, I reckon, Paul as that deep line playmaker, ball winning midfielder. I think that all looks okay for the last couple of minutes. Let's give it a crack. Why not? It's them hitting the woodwork again. Again, they're hitting the woodwork, and that I don't even think that was a highlight if I didn't make a tactical change. It's just them, doing things. The ball's going to come into the mixer soon. I can feel it, and it's going to be a header. It's going to hit the woodwork again. I have a feeling it's going to happen before the end of the game. But with 5 minutes to go, we'd have to pull off something really special to come back into it. We're only 2 goals down, so it's very possible. I'll go into a positive mentality to try and encourage that. And yes, you might have had keen eyes and seen that Akinola does not really suit playing striker, but he's the best striker option that I had on the bench for this game, because I didn't expect to, need to make striker changes. Maybe I should have anticipated it, but I didn't. So let's go with what we got, and it is us on the ball, which is positive at the very least. It's Duncan on it, coming off the bench with fresh legs.
Doesn't show the fresh legs there, I have to say. That's a pretty horrific shot. And the last highlight of the game, I imagine, is coming their way now. As they're on it, I told you that they're going to get a crossing opportunity, a header that hits the woodwork, but right now we're actually winning it back. So maybe this diamond has something in it. All it needs us to do is move Paul slightly forward. Maybe that gives us a bit more momentum in the forward areas and a bit more defensive solidity. Who knows? Might be worth a crack. Here goes. Oh, he's hit the woodwork now. He's hit the woodwork a couple of times. Obviously scoring his first goal in today's game. But it shows that he's got ability. It's just not quite getting the roll of the dice just yet. And I'm sure with time this man will feel more comfortable and do great things at this football club. But I have a feeling this is where the cross is coming in and the woodwork is going to be hit. Here it is. No, okay. Well, maybe that was a bit of an outlandish prediction, kind of out of nowhere, with very little evidence. But they do score. No, they do score. They do score. They didn't hit the crossbar. They scored. So a 4-1 loss on camera. It's not exactly what we want. There's a lot more football to play this season, and there's a lot of improvement that is needed here. A lot more transfers, I think, are going to go through. Maybe some players are going to have to be sold. Maybe a budget improvement will be requested. But right now, it's clearly not going the way we want it to improve our reputation quick. But from where we started, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I think I've said that about 700 times in this video already. There we go. There's another goal. And that's proven it's not too bad. I've said it many times. It's not perfect, but it's our first job. And maybe I'm panicking a little bit more than I should because I'm used to immediate success in Football Manager, but it's not too bad. Okay, so there's some shining lights. There's some shining lights in this team, but a lot of dull lights too. And we're going to have to find a way to get the best out of them tactically, off camera. And we will come back for the review at the end of the season. Probably we'll play one game at the end of the year as well. You know, like if it's an important game to maybe get us playoffs. So if we win the playoffs, I'll show you a couple of games in that. But for now, relegation battle is where we are. So let's hope we're well out of that by the time we come back next time. And if you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. It does actually help us so much on episode number 1. If you've enjoyed it, subscribe as well so you don't miss any more of the future Football Manager content just like this. And I will see you all later.